Moving on, in measure 14, there's a unique little sextuplet. It's right on the first beat, and it's a whole tone scale. And so you're going to want to work that up slowly. I need to do the same. And make sure you keep it slow until you can get it even all the way through. Whole tone scale. Not found enough in music, but it's a great sound. And then moving forward, you'll notice on bar 15, we have quarter notes with sideways accents, so heavy accents. And those are very easy. You'll remember that the most rushed rest or note in any kind of music, it doesn't matter what style or genre it is, most rushed note or rest, the quarter. So you want to make sure, metronome on, no matter what tempo you're playing this, so you don't rush it. And you're going to need extra punch with the articulation, with the tongue. You'll also notice that I'm using, in several circumstances in this performance, vibrato. Those notes are just long enough at this tempo that perhaps a little bit of vibrato is a great thing to add some energy and motion to the notes. And anything at that speed, quarter note or a quarter tied to the beginning of the triplet, in the next measure, we're talking about measure 16, sounds great. It gives that, again, vibrato, to vibrate, motion. And that's what we lose if we don't have notes traveling. So this way we get a little energy in that. We have, I believe it's the only one in here, measure 17. You have a marcato. That's the heavy, agogic accented note. You have that one. Bop, do, dee, do. And so you can really hit that note for all it's worth and a little bit of added separation compared to the sideways accent. I think that's the one time you see that in this piece, and it's worth kind of hamming up along with the crescendo that comes from that. Crescendo all the way up to the high F natural in bar 18. And I suggest, again, once you hit that, the high F in measure 18 on beat 2, that is just a wonderful place to add that nice passionate vibrato. I'll play it a little bit slow. We're starting in measure 17. And that adds, that's a very French sound from traditional classical saxophone to add, and I think it's a great sound. And again, you have the forte dynamic right there, perfect place to let that note just sing. Okay, and a unique little articulation pattern in there. Again, very much courtesy of Mr. Barr, on purpose, I am sure. Articulated heavy accents on beat 3, and then on beat 4, when the next triplet comes, we're slurring it. So a high contrast in articulations just from one beat to the next in measure 18. You heard, once we got to bar 20, the beginning of the retard. Please make sure, and this is a general rule for anything you're retarding in a solo situation, in solo literature, the audience, your adjudicator, anyone hearing you play, they're unaware that there's a retard written in the piece if they're the audience. And especially if it's an adjudicator, they need to know that you know where the retard is. So this is a great opportunity to ham this up a little bit. Oh, and right after that note, in the beginning of bar 20, a breath, because you're going to need the air. So we're drawing in a breath mark, and right after the dotted quarter on beat 2 in measure 20. So I'm going to make sure that the retard is clear, and if you feel comfortable, with vibrato on those long notes, and even being a little more dramatic about the retard, it always works. We have a set of railroad tracks, a grand pause right there. Gives you time to reset for the key change and for the change to 3/4 with a new time signature. And that ends the first part of this piece.